All right, welcome back to the Mike Gallagher Show. I am your guest host, Carl Jackson, sitting in for Mike Gallagher. Callers, I see you out there. Dan, Tony, don't go anywhere. If you want to be a part of the conversation, 1-800-655-MIKE, 1-800-655-6453. All right, so a couple of things that I'd love to know from you guys. Listen, I did not think we would be on this topic today. I thought, again, the debate was horrible for Biden. I figured by the weekend, there'd be a big news story, inflation numbers, something going on between Israel and Hamas, something that would kind of, just kind of wipe the debate away, at least for now. The Biden administration would have time to recover, but they haven't had time to recover because there's internal polling now that is scaring the bejeebers out of the Democrat Party. I got to tell you, I almost wish Eric Hansen and I were having a conversation during the break. Eric, I almost wish that could have been on air. That would have been a great segment for the Mike Gallagher Show. But I got to tell you, we are living in such interesting times. But if you want to call in, I really want to know. At this point in time, I was not there, guys. Just a couple days ago, I wasn't there. I was like, Carl, get your senses. You don't want to be hyperbolic. You don't want to just say something for the sake of saying something. It is not advantageous. As much as you like to see Joe Biden gone, it is not advantageous. It is not politically smart for the Democrat Party to throw Joe Biden under the bus. But remember, I told you, Democrats are commies, and they will do whatever it takes to win. But right now, what they might be looking at doing is whatever it takes to make sure that their ship isn't completely destroyed. And that's what we're looking at. Even this interview that's coming up with George Stephanopoulos. Apparently, George Stephanopoulos has got the first interview coming up with Joe Biden, where he's going to allegedly try to kind of restore Joe Biden's, the people's perception of Joe Biden. I'm not even convinced that that's true. And I don't know. I'm just not convinced that it's true because Democrats are in such panic mode. What Democrats care about is power, ultimately. So now, as you see the polling and you see leaked polls, guys, this is unheard of. I will do, back in the day, it was so much easier than it is now to do research, frankly, because Google, I don't think at the time were full of commies. It was pre-Trump era, and I just feel like they went crazy. They've made it exceedingly difficult to search as easily as you used to be able to do. So I used to be able to do research, and I mean, I would have to do extensive research to get anything close, link after link. Oh, this person, let's see what this person has to say, and go here. And I would try to get close to what I thought might be somewhat internal polling or whatever. It is extremely difficult to do. So for this to leak tells you that they're trying to take a preemptive strike, or tells you that they're trying to seal the hole at the bottom of the ship, because they are starting to feel as though the sink is shipping with is sinking with Joe Biden, and they have to stop it. Otherwise, this stuff has to come down. George Stephanopoulos interview, will that do it? I don't know, but I'm not even convinced. Remember, all of these people are fake. Oh my God, we can't believe they hid it from us. Now, don't get me wrong. I just read a column earlier about Jill Biden. It's the 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. thing. It's even worse than we think. We thought he was lucid between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. No. Jill Biden and her aide, I forget the name of the aide, were literally keeping staff at the White House. I got to give them credit. I mean, arm's distance away. It's insane. So there's so much more going on that we don't realize. Plus, when we get back, I got a clip that I want to play for you. Nancy Pelosi has changed gears within 24 hours. We'll be back. Carl Jackson in for Mike Gallagher. Let me make mention of this, and then I want to play a video clip for you of Nancy Pelosi that Eric and Christian have gotten, because Nancy Pelosi has started to change her tune quickly. This is when you know the Democrat Party is in panic. The good news is, I don't think we have to be in panic, but we do have to be more strategic as Republicans and understand what's coming. We have our own. I want to be very careful with this, because I'm not trying to be crazy when I say this, but there was we had our fight for independence as Americans. Guys, I believe that this next election is so consequential that this is our kind of Independence Day fight leading up to this election. I don't want to minimize, and I got to be, I'm kind of weary of saying that. I don't want to minimize any of the sacrifices that our troops have made in real serious bullets flying over your head, into your body, shrapnel type wars. Thank God for our troops, right? We don't have to fight that way right now. Thank the Lord Jesus, all right? But we do have to fight for this country, and we do have to be strategic, and I want you to understand that Democrats are. And just because we're kind of reveling in the panic that Democrats are in doesn't mean that we don't have a fight ahead of us. So I am going to share that as well. Let's go ahead, Mr. Eric Hansen, and let's play this video of Nancy Pelosi, and then callers, I'm going right to you, so don't go anywhere. I see someone dropped off. If you want to call into the program, you want to be a part of this conversation, 1-800-655-MIKE, 1-800-655-6453 to call into the ReliefFactor.com studio. Mr. Eric Hansen, let's roll that latest video of Nancy Pelosi changing her tune within 24 hours.
So we have all these things that he was masterful in helping to orchestrate, to write, and to pass. So he has a vision, he has knowledge, he has judgment, he has a strategic thinking, and the rest. He has a bad night. Now, again, I think it's a legitimate question to say, is this an episode or is this a condition?
That wasn't an option for Nancy Pelosi just 24 hours before. She was defending him. You know what else has hurt the Democrats? It's the elephant in the room. The Supreme Court decisions, this Trump immunity decision, Trump's now the hush money sentence being delayed. Some people online, including Mark Davis, that used to clerk at the Supreme Court, is saying that case is over. It is done. It is null and void. I don't know if that's the case. Right? I'm not an attorney, but he clerked for the Supreme Court. And if he's saying that, I'm going to believe him. I'm going to believe him. We cannot downplay the impact that the Supreme Court had last week. And the persecution of Trump that has backfired on these fools has been devastating to them. They thought, I frankly think Trump should be ahead by more. Right. But given everything that's been thrown at him, it's understandable why he is not. But yet they thought he would be down by more. And now you get the Supreme Court, this immunity case and all this stuff. And it's just like, oh, my goodness, we can't get rid of this guy. And then Biden shows up. Kind of preemptive strike to show the Democrat Party that, he's all there. But at the same time, I think they were kind of setting him up just in case. I mean, Joe's trying to prove and Jill is trying to prove that Joe is still there. The Democrat Party is like, let's go ahead and set this fool up. We really know what's going on. It's crazy. It is crazy. And then all of a sudden, the media, they're all enlightened after this debate. They didn't know just from looking on the screen like we've been looking at for years, saying this guy has serious issues. They all discovered it in one night. CNN, MSNBC, CBS. Unbelievable. And I'm going to go straight to the lines. 1-800-655-MIKE, 1-800-655-6453. If you want to call in to be a part of the program. Again, I was planning on having a special Independence type day show, but I do think, listen, we have to continue to fight for our independence. All of this chaos doesn't mean that it's going to be any easier for us to win. All right. So I'm going to go through that in the next hour. But for now, I want to take your calls. And again, you're welcome to call in as well and be a part of the conversation. Let's see. Let's go to Marshall. Marshall is in Lake Mary, Florida. Marshall, welcome to the Mike Gallagher Show. You got the mic.
Carl, I'm in Oviedo, Florida. Anyway,
okay.
Anyway, I just want to say I think the Republican Party is making a bad mistake, just like they did when we had the red wave coming.
Yep.
I hear the same stuff coming. I hear the same noise. the Democratic Party had an early debate with Biden so they could expose him and get him out of the way. Gavin Newsom, in my opinion, is going to be the nominee for the Democratic Party. Kamala Harris is going to be the vice president because they need that dark face for the black vote. President Trump, if you're listening, the man you need on your ticket is Byron Donald. He can stand toe-to-toe with anybody on that stage, especially with Kamala Harris, and not worry about being called prejudiced or racist or any of that stuff that Doug Burgum and J.D. Vance is going to face.
All right. Well, listen. Oh, go ahead, Marshall.
We need to stop. Look at Nancy Pelosi. She's did not a 180, but a 90-degree turn already. She's slowly changing her mind on Biden because they want him out of the way.
Well, listen,
all I got to say. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Marshall, listen, make sure you stay tuned because the point that I'm going to be making or the case that I'm going to be making for the remainder of the show is exactly why we can't take it easy. And you're right. We don't want to be like 2022 where we think we have this thing in the bag because this too will pass. I don't know if they'll move on from Biden. But right now, I can tell you they desperately want to, and they're making every effort to do so. Anyway, appreciate the call, Marshall. Make sure you listen to the remainder of the show. I think we'll have some things that you'll like to hear. Let's go to Antonio. Antonio is in Phoenix, Arizona. Antonio, welcome to the Mike Gallagher Show. You've got the mic.
Yes, Nancy Pelosi and her cronies, Chuck Schumer, Nadler, Hakeem Jeffries, they are all pure evil. They despise Trump, and they just absolutely cannot and will not let Joe Biden run. By November, he will be out when when their convention comes in. He is not going to be the man, Carl, because you are the man, Carl. Thank you for being the hardest working man in radio.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'll go a step further. They despise you. They despise me. They despise America. They despise the Constitution. Let me say this real quickly. And then I'll take a couple of calls if you guys can be quick. Even Sonia Sotomayor, I was thinking of Justice Sonia Sotomayor. I'll give her that respect. And all of that craziness, well, Trump will get somebody to, assassinate his opponent. And just totally off the wall. She is in my opinion, she's an activist that happens to be on the Supreme Court. You got Ketanji Brown Jackson. You got Elena Kagan. They're liberals, right? No doubt. That chick is an activist. To say something like that is so alarming and so dangerous. I wish there was a mechanism where she could be kicked off of the Supreme Court. But I also think, and this makes me this is very disconcerting. People will buy into this stuff. People will believe her. People will react towards us. Those of us that are voting for Trump, those of us that are that love America, that's an activist. What she said is not just stupid; it is extremely dangerous. I wish she could be kicked off. All right, guys, let me go to some calls. You've got to be really quick. I'll give you 30 seconds. We've got Doug. Doug, welcome to the Mike Gallagher Show. You got the mic, but you got to make it quick.
What's at stake for the Democrats is not the next 4 years; it's the next 12. So what they're going to do with Biden will be directly related to who Trump picks as a VP. If they see his VP pick as a threat, they'll replace Biden with someone they think is strong enough to give a run against Trump. If they don't see him as a threat, they'll let Biden run out, or they'll put Kamala in, who they know is going to lose. They'll count on 100% combative Democrat base and the weak Republicans to make sure that Trump's 4 years are not successful.
All right. James and Carol, if you'd like to call back in the next hour, we'd love to have you. All right. But listen, the Biden debate debacle continues. It was a disaster for Democrats, and they are reeling from it. No doubt about it. So I'm eager to see what they're going to do. But nonetheless, we're going to have a serious fight on our hands as Republicans.